Good, good day. Welcome to the Real on Parenting. I am your co-host, Coach Kiana Shaw.
And of course, I'm Danielle, girl therapist Danielle. Yes.
Listen, y'all, let's just say we need a reset, but if we did, we wouldn't be as entertaining. I'm gonna just leave it
No,
at that.
that's true. I agree. I agree with that one. I
There's
chuckle. I make
always,
myself chuckle.
but sometimes the people in our lives are like on some blink twice. I have what I introduced a couple of years ago as a blinking ministry. So when I'm speaking and I'm talking to groups, I'm just like, if you sitting next to the aggressor, if you sitting next to your parents and you can't amen, you sit next to your spouse and I said so, you can't amen. Just as long as you blinking, I know you with me. Then we both have blinking family members. So I would just say that. All right. So then
But we
got to get
love
focused.
Okay. All right.
So we have someone who wrote in a letter or just a brief paragraph or two regarding one of our shows. And so I want you to read that so that we can talk about it, because that's going to be the basis of today's show. I'm excited about it because I love letters from people.
Girl, I must have fallen down. All right. You know, everything be working fine until we needed to really work. Stuff falling down.
Right.
All right. So first I want to say that thank you for those who have emailed. And when you do email, if we do share, we will acknowledge you, but we will not be sharing any identifying information. More so just the scenario, the scenario. I won't call it scenario, girl. Your life, but without
anonymity is important to us, right? Because we don't, especially if you don't say in the email like y'all can read this and read my name, then we definitely won't be okay.
Right. And no, I mean, because the field that I work in, I'm more than likely still will not say your name because that's
true.
I'm a therapist. So due to confidentiality for 20 plus years, I'm not going to jail. I've done very well with that. So, and following the guidelines, but just know that if you do share, when you guys continue to email in, we will not be identifying who you are unless you specify it. Coach Kiana may hit you up like sis or bro, but I'll just address what's going on.
All right. Let's go.
So I'm going to read it. So first I want to say thank you for watching the show, but this viewer, I'm about to say watcher, that sounds like a stalker. Anyways, but this viewer basically said, I watched the show on trauma parenting, and we did get a lot of views on that show. Yes. I must say that I thoroughly enjoyed it and was able to see myself in several things that were said. One of the key phrases that children are to be seen and not be heard. I think we all heard that. I stand corrected and see the error in my ways. I realize that my children need to be able to express themselves just as I would have had a spouse. Here he was taking notes. All right. I am a widow and blessed to be a parent of two sons, a 28-year-old with special needs, but is more like mentally, developmentally as a 1-year-old, functions as a 1-year-old, and a 16-year-old and a 17-year-old. All right. So this person shares that they have fostered a loving relationship that they desire from, or let me back up. Let me just read it versus try to paraphrase. I have fostered the loving relationship I desired with my mother, with my children. So basically the person saying that what they wanted from their mom,
they're giving to their kids.
They did not get right. That's the way that they are parenting her sons. It is not perfect at all. When I fall short, I apologize and ask for forgiveness. Yes, that's first and foremost. Mm-hmm. I think I pretty much agree with everything you two shared. I look forward to seeing more shows that guide and support brown parents to better parent. So thank you for sharing that. Thank you.
Yes.
So within today's show, we are going to be talking about that safe space for parents. Yes. I think this is something that has never been talked about. If it was behind closed doors, okay? Because I ain't never heard of it. And we need it. You know, we talk about our children. We do as best as we can, plus some, you know, for our children to make sure they have all that they need. Mind you, we need a nap and a vacation and a retirement plan and a sabbatical and respite. We need all of
but just on a low scale, I vote for daily naps, right? Right around 10:30 a.m.
Ooh.
Or whatever, like that, whatever that 4, 5, 6 hour period from the time you start your day, right?
Yes.
Because that's when I need that recharge. And so let's go. Let's talk about like some of the things that, because aside from what they're doing with their sons, like I'm worried about as a parent, how are you taking care of you, right? And so
yes.
Like, because you're already dealing with your situation. You're 20 years in. You are an expert in how to deal with a developing human being who is developing physically, but not necessarily mentally. So that's not something I want to talk about. I want to specifically talk about how are you creating your own safe space? Yes. What's your outlet? What is your ability to relax, relate, release, right?
Yes. Yes.
So let's talk about that. Okay. You want me to go first?
We over here like, okay.
All right. So my first thing is,
okay,
I love having colors around me that I like, right? So I'm all for like making sure my space is full of things that I love. So I have a clapper on my desk, right? So whether I'm in a Zoom meeting.
Wow.
I know.
It's been a while.
It has. But I mean, it's been a while on the show, but I use it all the time because when I do something, and sometimes it's like just looking at that task list, and then when I click it to say, okay, this task is done, honey, I clap for me. Okay.
All right, you gotta clap for your damn self sometimes. Okay, all right, I'm with you. But
the colors I love. Let me see if I can pull. I'm nervous about pulling this. So you let me know if you can see this. Okay. It's a blue. So I'm into like the aqua blue. So this is it. It looks a lot. Oh, see, I disappeared. I did. Like but I look, it's a little darker in person than what is showing me on the screen. But that blue is everywhere. It's in my bedroom. It's on my desk, right? It's like when I buy containers for stuff around the house, that's the color. I have it in my kitchen. The paintings on my wall, like if you go through some of my Facebook videos, over the last 3 years, there's picture frames and all the picture frames have been painted in the blue, right? That I like. I'm not painting the pictures, but when I'm hanging up family pictures, right. It's in that color because that makes me happy. That color is calming. And it's such an inexpensive way to spruce up the place, right? Because we go, let me just clean up, let me just clean up, let me just clean up. But then we still don't want to be there, even when it's spotless, because it's not represented. Like when I look in my house, I want to think blue beach water like that, not California beach water. So
obviously
because it just be a little right, but
a little murky.
Just a little bit. But like when you think of like the Maldives and stuff, like I want that feeling, right? And actually when you walk into well, I took it down, but there was a picture of a beautiful swimming pool like that I had. It was like a banner almost that I had in the hallway. So when I walked in my door, because when I purchased my house, that's what I want to see. So I purchased it so that when I walk in my apartment, I got a reminder, like I want to see this view. Right. So it's little things like that when we're creating our space, using the colors and what do I want to see? Like above my fireplace is a beach picture because that's what I want to see, right? And so all of those things are calming for me, and they create the safe space that I want once my house is clean, right? Like it was clean yesterday. Now it's 4 girls in the living room. Anyway, that's a totally different thing. All right. All right. Give me one day. Or I keep going. You let me know.
No, I know we can. But I would say another one I want to preface with the fact that making and creating a safe space or cleaning up or adjusting your safe space doesn't have to cost a lot of money, if money at all, to be honest. It can really be more so related to you being more present in the moment. And something of that is in regards to things that are calming to you. Mm-hmm. So within nature, light colors, but within nature. I know for me personally, I like the sound of water, but I always clarify, not a storm, not a tornado, not a tsunami, none of that. The sound you hear when you go and get, when it's a drizzle, and when you get a massage, just the sound of water of that nature on the stones, on the smooth stones, so there's a lot of apps that you can download. You can even go Google. This is what I do on YouTube. I don't Google on YouTube. I go to YouTube and I type in calming water, and they have channels that plays that sound for hours.
Okay, so since we're on that, I have a question for you real quick.
Okay.
So the girls were listening to something last night. It was like a cooking video, but it was really just a bunch of noise in the video. Like you hear them chopping, and they said it was MSR, AS.
AS. Now you got me saying it wrong. ASMR. There you go.
ASMR. So is that the same thing? And what is that? Because
it is.
I'm real. I guard myself with these new trends, right? So tell me what that is.
It's okay.
It's new to me.
I can enlighten you, but ASMR is not a new trend. It's been around for a long time. Pre-pandemic, even before that, it comes from a theoretical model. Anyways, I'm not going psychology 101 you, but it's the aspect in regards to various sounds. So we all have 5 senses, hearing. Now I just have to count them on my fingers, so I always forget one. So hearing, seeing, touching, tasting, and there's someone always smelling. And thank you. And so with that, there within a handful of those, we as people, as humans, we can be soothed by hopefully 3 of those senses, and everyone has preferences. So the sound of certain things can be soothing. So that's where the kind of quote unquote ASMR came from.
Okay.
So some people, for example, don't like to be at home alone. So they need to just hear a voice in the house. They're not hearing voices. Okay, just clarify. But they just want to hear someone else talking. So they keep the TV on. It's a part of keeping them calm, making them feel that they're okay. So also like the sound of water. It's a part of relaxing people. It can even be for some people, like, I don't know if you watch this is not my thing. I don't like clicking and clacking. I don't care how soft or slow it is. It just takes me to another person. However, some people like that. Some people like that when they be like, drives me up the wall. But some people like that, and it teaches own. So, so with that being said, like, also as a mom, if you will, or even just any parent that's a single parent, in general, you got to clean, you got to tidy. It's not everybody's forte. So for me, I'm like, I don't want to be the only one doing it. Somebody else needs to be doing it with me. So I turn on YouTube, and I have a good 5 strong Black women that I watch, and we be cleaning. So
I didn't know that was a thing. So let me ask you this: is silence a thing? Because that's what I like. Is that it?
It doesn't make a noise per se.
Okay, so it actually has to have a stimulant.
That could be another aspect of nature, if you will, even though nature isn't necessarily quiet because there's still random noises. But hey,
okay,
all right, keep me updated on that one.
Okay. I like silence, y'all. I'm just saying. All right. So was that everything you were saying? I don't want to cut you off.
Oh, no. So the gist of it is just with things that you already do, just being mindful of them. And so it can be as simple as, you drinking coffee. It's not necessarily nature-y, but as I drink our coffee, I look out the window. That is my quiet time, and I'm looking at the cars drive by and looking at the birds fly, so looking to things that you already, that's already within your day-to-day that you may not necessarily realize, and making it more an intensive effort to use those things as a way of just a calm, a sense of calm.
Got it. Okay. And every, like, here's the thing, because everything plays into it. So like I'm real big on aromatherapy. If you have ever wanted to buy me a gift, Bath and Body Works, Jo Marie candles, like those are my things because I love smell goods, right? Like I I usually clean up at the candle sales, right? And it's because I love that like I have, what is it, the plug-ins that they don't make a candle of, and so I pour the plug-ins into like an empty candle, and I put it on the cup the cup warmer. I don't think it's a big thing. Like, but like I'll put it in the cup warmer and then, turn it on, and then it'll still, like, because I was gonna make candles out of the scents, and then I was like, but the scents are flammable. That probably won't be a good idea.
Oh yeah,
so
that's very true. Yes,
and so just to pour it into an empty, because like this is, I'm not gonna show the name because but if it's empty, I pour the liquid in there and then put it on the warmer, and it radiates and smells, because they don't make my favorite scent in the candle, right? And so although like I'm using aromatherapy is a big thing. Now, sometimes the smell I want to smell is cookies or like a brownies or a cake baking. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes like when it's cold, those are the smells I want to smell. When I finish cleaning up the house, like I want to smell that one scent. When when I just kind of feel, when I'm home by myself, but I just want to feel relaxed, I might put on something that is more fruit flavored or something like that. I don't really do flowers because they trigger my not anxiety, my migraines. And so like everything plays, like you have to know what creates your safe space, as especially as parents, because we get so used to our kids and creating a safe space to our kids that we forget ourselves. So it doesn't have to be, a large room. It could be a corner in the room, right? That is just yours. Like that is mommy's chair, that is daddy's chair. Get out of it, right? Well, you don't have to say it like that, but
but sometimes you do. Sometimes they be trying. Well,
okay, but there are certain smells. Like there's this eucalyptus and mint spray that I found, and I can't find it. So I've been trying to recreate the smell myself. It's not working, but that's okay.
Keep trying. Try again.
I will.
For the parents who knows one of the cartoons. But go ahead.
Oh, see, I didn't even know that. See, there we go. So, but it's important to create that for myself because those are like little bursts of happiness. Kind of like when you sneak your kid a piece of candy, it's like you need your own little burst of happiness throughout the day at your workplace. You know what I mean? And maybe it's a spray, a light spray, because some people my migraines are triggered by certain scents. So I don't spray things because I'm really conscious of other people. But
I know. I'm like, what's that smell? Right. Is it no? Is it strong? No.
But if you're at your desk, put your colors. Take you at Ross or TJ Maxx or something, and you find a little desk decorative thing that is your color. Get that. Get that so that you can have your own sense of happiness even in your cubicle.
Yes. And then something I want to say is that not every parent will. I'll say we go in cycles, if you will. We totally forget about us until we like, okay, I can't do this no more. Or we aware, I need a break, but we keep on pushing ourselves off. So we get pushed more back on the to-do list where it's not even on the list anymore. So for your safe space, you should be doing something for yourself daily. Granted, it doesn't have to be an hour, it doesn't have to be a half a day. Granted, if you have that, by all means. But realistically, the time that we have for ourselves, it ranges and it fluctuates. Right. Use what you have. So something else I was going to say is that limit distractions. And distractions, yes, is your phone. Like we're all walking around with mobile computers in our purse.
Right. And they're so within reach all the time.
This is not necessarily easy. And I was saying this, speaking of myself as well, but make it a point, give yourself a time frame on when you will not be on social media, when you will not be responding to any notifications or anything on your phone. And this is just for mental clarity. There should be a study, actually there probably is, but there should be a study done on this because we all are using screens, that's the way of life these days. However, the impact that it has on about the executive functioning, but the impact that it has on the functioning of the brain is something that you don't necessarily notice or experience right away. But the continued use, and it looks like the screens are not going anywhere. They're just going to get better and faster and, and have all these options for us. However, people are being impacted. And when you're a parent, you already got a to-do list. So you already got a minimum of 5. That's on a good day. 5 things to do that you think about. You don't need extra tabs on the phone and extra tabs on the tablet. You don't need all the extra stuff. Okay.
And it creates anxiety because you spend so much time in the apps that you realize you don't have stuff done.
It is an hour later.
And you gotta get on it.
2 hours later.
And that's creating a sense of urgency that didn't have to be there. Yeah. So since I said that, one of my tricks, and I know people are like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. But one of my tricks is to get up a couple of hours early. I get up at 3:30 every single morning.
Would you be up?
I didn't want to call you out specifically, Danielle.
Yeah, say, hey, you speaking to me. You speaking to the parents in my category, like an extra minute.
So
I have a minute to lay here.
I had a mentor tell me, get a jump on your day because you can always go to bed early. But don't let your day get a jump on you. And when I think about like when I'm in stocks and stuff, like when I'm looking to buy stocks, if I wait until 9 o'clock my time, somebody already been making decisions for me for 3 hours just in the stock market. So I want to get up, but my first 30 minutes, I get up at 3:30 every morning, weekends included, because now it's an internal clock thing. I get up. I have my meditation and my coffee, right? Like when I'm making my coffee or tea or my protein drink, I'm automatically in my brain, I'm going, okay, this is what I need to do. I might be writing a list. I might be adding a task. But once that coffee is done, I take it, I sit, I meditate, and I pray. I read my Bible. I read whatever book that I need to, but I just need, because I may not read at the end of the day, but if I can get that first, I took all the books out of my room because I was like, I don't get to my room until late. Right. So I moved all the books to the living room and moved the DVDs to the bedroom. Right.
Okay.
I'm not watching the DVDs anyway because everything's streamed these days. But that helps me remember during the day, like, hey, there are books that I could be reading versus being on my phone. Little things like that, right? Getting up early helps me. Now I can take a nap. Like right around 5:30, my brain goes, hey, we need a little bit of time. So then I go back to sleep for maybe 30 minutes to an hour. That's a good nap for me. Just to be able to, like, because my brain is up at 3:30. It's nothing I can do about it. I'm not going back to sleep.
That's a whole day. 5 is shut it down. You start getting different volumes and words.
My brain got its own street lights timer. It'd be like, hey, it's 4 o'clock. It's almost tomorrow. Let's go.
Hey, right? Hey. But yeah, those are
super helpful for me. Yes.
And so you kind of already spoke to this, but having a routine is very important. We have routines for our kids. We have routines for our kids when they're babies, and that doesn't go away just because they're older. We give them a routine. Shower, brush your teeth, comb your hair, eat your dinner, do your homework. It still applies to us as well.
Right.
We function more effectively on girls. Somebody sent me a message like, what? You see my face? Hold on. But we function.
Why your phone on, Danielle? You just was talking about the screen time.
I know.
Just out here not using your own advice.
We're working on it. And I say a lot of times, I'm talking to me as well, and this to understand that this is something that isn't a consistent thing that has to be worked towards, because sometimes what's going on in life really doesn't allow you to do the things that you desire to do for yourself to create this safe space. However, you work with what you have.
Yes.
But creating that routine, like Coach Kiana was saying, for her. And for everybody, but for the early birds who can do that and not cuss nobody out by 12 o'clock, That's you.
I wasn't
waking
always
up.
an early bird though. That's what I'm saying. I was just like, what can I do differently so that I'm not pressed at the end?
So I think for me, I'd rather just go to bed later because I tried it. It didn't work for me.
I'm gonna just crash. I'm like, when my body says it's time to go to bed, it means it. So it don't
with me, mine's the total opposite. I can keep going. So you need to find out what is your body
works for you
works and doesn't work. And that's what it comes down to. But a routine is a must, regardless of you're an early bird or you can push the line or whatever it is. A routine is a must. And you need a routine for yourself. Something for yourself before your day starts, something for yourself when your day ends. And when the day ends, when the house is quiet, and that's when the brain want to go a mile a minute, all the things you need to do. And you just trying to slow down.
My brain is going,
stop. So you can go.
Why are you still up? but I love this. I love, because we really are polar opposites. Like we really are.
We really are. Like functioning, and
I'm like, Danielle, we can't do a meeting at 3 in the afternoon because my brain doesn't work like that. Like at 3, if it's 3 in the afternoon, it has to be a mechanical situation for me. If it's 3:30 in the morning, my brain is like, let's go. But knowing yourself is really important in that.
Yes. But also I was going to say, with the routine, you can have routines for yourself. That's not a daily thing as well. So you can have your monthly time to yourself where you go and get your massage, you go and you work out, or you go and you have your guys' night out, whatever. That is something that needs to be a consistent, reoccurring monthly. And the fact that it's monthly is what allows it to be more consistent than I'm gonna do every other week. Life may be life, and you look up and it's 2 months later. So there's an aspect is being realistic with what's going on in your life, but also that aspect of, that once a month you're going to carve out half a day, or you're going to carve out an hour, or whatever the case it is, where it can be nothing at all, but when parenting drive you to the edge, you just want to sit in your car. If you want to sit in your car with nothing on, you got to crack the window because we got to breathe. But for an hour, then by all means, have that be it. But you do need something for you and you only.
Absolutely. And then when you said that, it made me think about, like, people are always saying, journal, so you can reflect over your day. Because I meditate and pray in the morning, well, no, not because I don't like to journal.
And thank you for saying that. Yes, right. Thank you for saying that. It's okay.
Because after a while, the writing is too much, right? Especially when I'm trying to relax. But I love to color. Okay. I will color. I could do a color app, but I really like I'm telling y'all, like, I got markers.
I got one in my closet.
Like, I got all the colors. We got. I was cleaning out.
We should have a coloring date. See, that's the thing. A monthly coloring date.
Mm-hmm. I'm with that. And like, I was cleaning out
Kayla's room, not much talking though, so that means the girls can't be there, or they got to be in another room.
Did you think I want to invite them?
My limits. Okay, we just making sure we on the same page. All right, we'll put it on the calendar.
Well, I was saying that I had cleaned out her room, and I found like 8 different, like, because we always, when we see crayons, we buy crayons, right? We see markers, we buy markers.
Crayons and pens are my happy thing.
Yes, and if you know Danielle, like, you see, she got like her journals or her to-do list, like, she decorates them like crazy. She does pretty writing, all that. I'm not into that, right? Well, I'm into it. I just don't know how to do it. Let me rephrase. But whatever it is.
Anyways, I digress. But yes,
I'm gonna start doing video blogs because I can talk it out. I can share my thoughts, and I can go back and like talk to myself about that. I really want to do video blogs now. And I can do it any time of day and just get it out. But I don't want to journal. I don't want to actually write it out. That's not a bad thing. Whatever works for you to create your safe space. me having the moment at the end of my day to go, this is what went right. This is what went wrong. This is what I want. This is what I'm visualizing. This is what I am committed to never doing again. This is what I want to wake up doing tomorrow. You understand what I'm saying? All of that makes a huge difference. Again, I get up at 3:30, I get my prayer and my meditation, and I read my Bible, and I do whatever I want to do, check emails. I take a nap right about 5:30, 6 o'clock. I'm up and I'm headed to the either to the gym or to walk around, right? Because I can do a 2 mile trek without getting off the sidewalk, right? So that kind of stuff is important for me. And then if I can just talk it out at the end, that works for me. Whatever works for you. It does not have to be
it really
something that's really dramatic and it's about creating a safe space for you. And I know we're talking like specifically for this father, but it's definitely for everyone.
Everyone. Yeah. Literally.
If you don't have a place where you can create your own peace, where you can have your own time for yourself, you're really doing your own life a disservice. That's our point.
Yes. And also something just to try to even just make it more simpler is, what are the things that you used to do that you no longer do that you actually enjoyed? You probably have two handfuls of things. Well, hey, it's seasonal, if you will, depending on where you are. You may have an indoor pool.
I mean, I got the gym membership, so when it's raining, I can go to 24-hour fitness.
And then incorporate some of those things. Don't expect, so I'll say this, don't expect to try to do all these things all at once. It will be overwhelming. Take one thing at a time. And when you start incorporating that one thing consistently, then add on another or incorporate another. Because the goal is not to give you more things to do. No, the goal is for you to be more mindful of what you already do and aren't necessarily present with what you do. And also start back doing what you used to do. Keep in mind as well that time frames of it will fluctuate. You may have a minute, you may have 5 minutes, you may have a whole day, you may have half a day.
Right.
Work with what you got. Work with what you got. If you are on a time crunch, use your phone as a timer so that when I tell you these 10-minute naps, but for those who know me in my personal life, they know that I was the nap queen, and my nap minimum was 2 hours. Clearly, I didn't have kids at that time. Okay,
right? But where you get 2 hours to take a nap from?
Girl, be knocked out and will still go to bed on time. So this whole parenthood, I don't think I really adjusted to my child. I was like 10. I'm still hanging on though. But naps, I'd be like, oh, just 10 minutes, just 10 minutes. It'd be knocked out. But I put that timer on because I thought I trusted myself to wake up on time, and I was 10 minutes late. And it was a whole fiasco. But use your timer. Use your timer. Little things, they may sound little, but they can be very, very impactful within your day.
Absolutely. So I have a question for you.
Yes.
Because I often hear people talk about practicing mindfulness. And as I hear people talk about it, I'm like, y'all got different definitions, right?
Okay.
It's like, so some people, it's like mindfulness is journaling. And other people are like, mindfulness
is not.
See?
It's not.
So I'm not going to go through the other scenarios. Can you tell us what practicing mindfulness is?
And practicing mindful actually speaks to the aspects that we talked about already. But in a nutshell, being mindful has to deal with your senses. Seeing, hearing, touching, feeling, tasting. Okay? So, and mindful in your action, in what you're doing. So you may have someone who's being mindful in them cooking. Maybe the turning of whatever that they're turning or mixing, just that gesture, but seeing what they're cooking mix up.
So being present, like being present in the moment.
Just being present in the moment with what you're doing at that time. So yes, you can be mindful while you're journaling, but it has nothing to do with journaling. It could just be the fact that you're writing. If you like to write, you know what I mean? If you like to color, you can just be I had doing this, being mindful of brushing her teeth. she was little, and creating the circles because exactly. So it's
really, yeah. You see, I start doing the motion before you
like,
said
girl,
it
make them
because
big
that
circles.
is
Let
how
me
we
see some
teach
more
them.
bubbles. You know what I mean? So it's really just being mindful in what you already do and seeing and learning what aspects of that you experience to be calming.
Got it.
That's really it. So I mean, sorry to bust your bubble. No, you don't need like a certificate in that. That's just, granted, no disrespect for those who do, because there are some good therapists that, you know, who really are good at breaking that down and walk guiding clients through that. However, the nutshell of it is being present within your day.
Okay, so then does that include meditation and breathing exercises?
Yes, yes. It can, because the thing is, like, mindfulness, like, there was deep breathing before mindfulness. There was meditation before mindfulness. You know, it's just a term that was coined that kind of umbrellaed the stuff that had already been done. Somebody made some money off the term, but that's just, let's call it what it is. Come on now. But but yes, you know, like, you can be, girl, anyways, you can be mindful while you're, but don't be too mindful while you're driving, because I'd have missed a couple of exits. I'd have to turn around, now I'm in traffic. But you can be mindful while you're driving. You can have the windows rolled down, the rooftop open, the sunroof open. You know, they're just, it's being aware, mindful, and just what you're doing at that time. That's all.
Okay. I like that.
Being mindful don't cost no money. That's a good one as well. It's
okay. Specifically for this parent that wrote in creating your safe space, sometimes that means going out of your space, right? That means having someone come and sit with your son so that you can go outside and be mindful, right? So that you can go breathe and meditate, or, you know, look at the landscape of life. Without having to worry about him for a little while, right? Now, that might be a lot to put on a 17-year-old.
So, because I'm not sure what state the person is in, and I'm just, granted, you can email me if you want, but there are supportive services.
Yes.
That, and granted, and I'm gonna say that's a whole other thing, but there are feelings that go with that, I should say. But there are supportive services that you can seek out if you already don't do that, despite your son's age, despite him being an adult, where you can have someone watching him, you know, for however long that you choose that to be as far as your comfort level. So you can have 30 minutes, you can have 45 minutes, you can have an hour to be away from home, but close enough to be home. So I'm just putting that out there as well, because a lot of people don't know that.
Right. And I think that sometimes there's the trust factor. Like, here's my child who is unable to scream for help, for, you know, or unable to say what's going on, communicate those thoughts. But so maybe if you bring someone in, whether it's hiring someone or have a family member that can just sit, but I mean, you know, because family members aren't always a safe space either, but that can just sit. And then even if you're just moving around and cleaning up or creating your safe space, that is still someone there to keep the day-to-day of your son, right? And so that you can, because part of it is, you know, when you have a newborn, or I won't say a newborn because they sit, but toddlers, right? It becomes overwhelming because you like, all I want to do is clean up. All I want to do is do laundry without somebody, you know, while I'm putting stuff in the dryer, somebody pulling stuff out the dryer.
Basically, without interruption.
Right. And so you need a person, you need, you know what I mean? And so if you can't get access to the supportive services, see if you have a friend that can come in and just help you. I remember a friend of mine, after she had her baby, she was just like, I don't know what I'm feeling, but, you know, and I'm sure it was a little bit of postpartum depression involved or whatever, but she was just like, I need something, like, I'm overwhelmed. And so a couple of us, you know, her friends, her family members, we cleaned up the house, we cooked dinner, you know what I'm saying? It was like that type of thing. It doesn't stop just because your son is 21. Sometimes even when they're 16 and they don't have any developmental issues, we still need the help. We still need the help. We still need the space. I don't want to lose sight of that. get the help that you need so that you can be the best parent you can be, the best person you can be. But it's hard to do that when we're constantly feeling like, and that's why we wanted to talk about the creating a safe space, because it's really small things we can do to create it. But if we're not conscious of, I need this now, right? I have friends that I could call and be like, listen, I'm trying to get out of parenting felony free, and they'll come, right? Because
I'm at the door. Open the door.
Right. Open the door, come get my kid or come get me. One of us can't be here, right?
Right.
And that's just real on parenting, right? Like that's just honesty.
Right.
And it doesn't even have to be that anything is wrong. Some days you're just not vibing. Some days you just
don't have it. Yes.
Don't have it. And so we got to be able to connect like that.
But yes, I totally agree.
All right. Anything else, Danielle? Did I miss? Did we miss anything? Like, is there anything you want? Because
no. And granted, I would say there are many other things that can be done, but we wanted to focus on things that are more realistic, that didn't take any extra time to trying to create it. And no, you already are doing it, more than likely, just being mindful of identifying what those things are. Yes. But things that allows you to reset, relax, release, recharge. If you don't have a weekly reset, you should. You really should, because 5 days is a whole lot of parenting, okay? And some weeks, you feel it more than others. Some days it just makes you turn into another person. So you need, as a parent, as you as a person, you need to reset. And whatever that is for you, that is healthy and safe for you and others, gotta throw that in there. But it doesn't have to cost money.
Right. And it doesn't have to involve, smoking a joint or having a glass of wine. Like sometimes you need a reset that doesn't bring that. Right. No judgment. Right. But I know for me, I need a reset that doesn't involve that. Right. I need a reset that is like, for example, just a quick Tuesday. So last week, Kayla's school call. I knew by the way the phone rung, right? It's the same ringtone, but just, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You've been praying for your babies and now that phone is ringing, you like, and so I get up, but my instinct is put your shoes on. Like, so I'm like stepping into my shoes as I'm walking to the phone. I grab the phone, I see it's her school. And as I'm answering, I'm grabbing my purse, I'm looking for my keys. And they said, we don't know if she sprung her ankle or if she broke it.
Oh, wow.
So now I'm like, now mind you, I'm in hour 2 of my day, right? Yes. So it's like everything has to go on hold. So I'm rushing to the school. I'm calling the hospital to see if I can get an appointment versus having to go to urgent care or emergency. Yeah. I can't, so I have to go to urgent care. So I'm like, okay, fine. I'm getting her. We live on a 3rd floor, y'all. I'm gonna post the video. I had to carry her on my back. My baby's 100 plus. I had to carry her on my back up the 3 flights of stairs so that she could use the restroom and all that. We finally get back to the car. I'm getting her to the hospital, trying not to drive crazy. It's people around me driving crazy. This same lady almost hit us twice. So now I'm trying to decide if I'm going to pull over and address this lady or just keep getting my baby to the hospital, right? Because it's things, right? But this is parenting stuff. Like I swear I have a point to the story. So as we're going, we get to the hospital. The security guard is just like, well, I only have a wheelchair for emergencies. This is it. Because I can't drag her across y'all floor and up the stairs and all. So, he's like, well, let me assess. You the security guard, sir. If you don't give me this doggone wheelchair, but no problem. Come on. Right. So then,
I'm over here trying to hold my tongue, but okay.
Right. It's 6 hours plus, like, because like we had to go to casting, we had to go to x-rays, like it's all these things. We were at the hospital for 6.5 hours.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's actually good. The minimum.
Right. We finally get home. I'm on my back. We coming up the stairs. Like she got crutches and everything, right? So on my back, we coming up the stairs. The dog has made a mess on my bed. He almost had to leave. Like, you know, because that certain things require you to be rehome.
You know,
the nicest I can say it. Now I come from the old school where if you didn't want your dog anymore, you just dropped him off in another neighborhood. I did not want to do that, but ooh, he was close. Okay. I'm just saying,
like,
he little and he's in high demand. He would have been fine. So that being said, like when I come up, then it's like, okay, she has to shower, and because she was at PE when this happened, because she's playing football. That's my kid. That's my daughter playing football.
Yeah.
And then there's dinner to be made, right? And then, so I got to get her in the shower. I got to make her dinner. I got to clean up what the dog did on my bed. These are unexpected things. And then I realized, oh my goodness, I'm exhausted, but I got to get ready for tomorrow, right? I had a huge presentation the next day. So then I'm like, okay, let me get me something to eat because I'm hungry. I fell asleep with my food in my mouth. I woke up and there's still food. Like, that's how tired I am. And I realized it's 1:00. I got to get this done. So then I'm working until 3:30, which is the time I'm supposed to get up. So now I got to take a quick nap and then get back up at 5 because I got to get her to my mom's and get back, get out to, I had a 2-hour drive. These are all the things. When I came home that day, I was like, listen, mommy needs a moment.
Yes.
I'm tired. I was on the phone driving home. I said, listen, I got to go. These last 20 minutes, I need to ride in silence because I know my daughter's going to give me an earful of her day. I got to get ready for that, right? So that's still parenting, even though she's not with me.
Right.
There's tons of things. And then not to mention, like, she was like, Mom, I don't know how to do this, her computer science stuff. I ended up calling your mother, like, hey, can you save Kayla's life?
I can help you. Like, did you text my mom? Because don't call my phone.
Listen, I called Miss Donna. I was like, I know you got a lot going on. Can you help save Kayla's life today? Because she's having emotions and she's just like, well, I don't know how to do this. And I'm in honors classes. And because she missed the day and we get daily grade alerts, it went from an A to a D because she's missing assignments, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I got you. Don't worry about it, but go, like, let me help you. But I need to do it in my space. All of that was going on. So now the next day, when I'm finally getting home, I'm like, we're going to eat out again, right?
Yeah.
I don't have it in me to cook. I hate feeding her fast food. But today, that's what you're going to have, right? She loves it. I just, my parenting woes be like, no, McDonald's ain't real food, right? Right. Don't come for me. Don't come for me, McDonald's or your employees, because I know too many people who used to work for y'all. Y'all not finna do that.
You choose to eat it, that's okay, but we all know.
Right.
If you don't know, you in denial.
And I love a fillet of fish, but still.
That's a fish, though. That's a fish, though.
I don't know. But the point is that even in all of that, I had to tell her, tonight, mommy needs a break. I need a moment, right? And I called one of my friends and I was just like, hey, like, I feel like I'm escalated. I just need you to bring me down. Like, let's just have some laughs and regular old conversation that don't involve parenting because I don't have it in me no more. Not today. And that was my reset. Because it was just a lot in 20, well, it was a little more than 24 hours, but it was just a lot. And because you don't sleep well anyway, you know what I'm saying?
Really
because your kid is injured or your kid is sick. Right. Like, I remember many a day Kayla gets sick, so I sleep sitting at her crib so that I didn't fall into a deep sleep. Like, there's so many adjustments that we're making as parents. We've got to reset.
Yeah.
Yes, we got to reset.
That, because I think so many parents guardians can relate, you know what I mean? And then you're trying to figure out, why am I exhausted? I can share that the past 2 weeks has been a blur. And when I say that I slept probably a whole 2 days, it's like, you're tired, but I keep on saying exhausted because that's what it is. We need to identify things correctly. Tired, when you have stuff going on, it's just not being tired. You're exhausted, you're drained, and your body needs rest.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you for joining us here. The Real on Parenting on KCCR Brownstone Cityscape Radio. We love it here. Thank you guys. So for the person who wrote in, we do appreciate it. Feel free to send us an email addressing anything you want us to address at the Real on Parenting at
gmail.com.
therealonparenting@gmail.com. Listen, I forget it a lot. So thank God for Danielle. And we will do our best to get to it and address it. Nothing too big, nothing too small. Anything, if it, well, I won't say nothing too big because sometimes we like, let's send resources, but we won't have the time to address it on the show. But but we're excited to be here and we are here to help you. So anything you have questions on, we are happy to address. And that's it. Thank you, Danielle. This is a wrap. We'll catch y'all later. I'm Coach Kiana and my co-host
Danielle.
Therapist Danielle.
We'll
talk to you soon. No, it's all good. We'll talk to you soon.